All right, your focus question for today. Anybody familiar with a focus question or essential question? Okay, good. How can I identify and name points, lines, and planes? And then we're doing vocabulary today, which is kind of the fundamental of geometry. It's making sure that we're all communicating the same way. So let's talk about a point first. It names a location. Has no size and is represented by a dot. It's named, let's see, it is named with a capital letter. And would look like point P. Just a dot and a capital letter. A line, that is a straight path. With no thickness. That extends forever. Named with a lowercase cursive or 2 points on the line. Let's say or 2 points on the line with the symbol and then a diagram or picture Okay, here's a line, lowercase cursive outside the line. We would call that line L. If the line has, a line's got to have at least 2 points on it. So we could also call this line AB or line BA. Questions? A plane. That's a flat surface. That has no thickness. And extends forever. A plane can be named with an uppercase cursive or 3 points and the symbol. The symbol for a plane is looks like a pushed over square. Diagram would look something like that's an uppercase cursive R. So that could be plane R. Could also call this plane ABC. Having fun yet? The term collinear. The term collinear means on the same line. And if collinear means on the same line, then what does coplanar mean? Very good, but we're going to say in the same plane. Collinear, on the same line. Coplanar, in the same plane. Yes, sir.
I would be on N line, right?
Correct. Non-collinear. What's non-collinear mean? We're not going to write it down. Not on the same line. And non-coplanar. Not in the same plane. Very good. Okay. So if you're given a got a line, got some points on the line. All right, and you're asked to name two collinear points. Two collinear points. Any volunteers?
A and B.
A and B, very good. Just when you're going to get asked some questions in geometry, and it's just, it sounded too easy to be true, right? Yeah, so it is in some cases. Another pair of collinear points. Yeah. C and B, good. And one more pair of collinear points. A and C, good. A pair of non-collinear points. Yes. Very good. Non-collinear would be A and D. Another pair of non-collinear. B and D, C and D. All right. Any two that are not on the same line. All right. Any questions so far? On the top of page 7, a segment. That's part of a line. It's part of a line containing two endpoints and all points between. So a segment would look something like this. It's a piece of a line. It has endpoints. So what are the endpoints? Oh, I'm not going to do that. Let's just do this. That's segment AB. All right, and here's how you can name it or label it. AB, and this is the symbol for segment. You could also name it segment BA. Endpoints are used to name a segment. Endpoints. Are used to name a segment. Everybody caught up? Talk about array. That's part of a line. that starts at an endpoint and extends forever. So here's a picture of ray AB. You're going to label it ray AB. The endpoint is always the first letter in the name. Ray AB means you're starting at point A and you're going through B forever. Cannot call this ray BA. That would be a different ray. That would be a ray that starts at B, goes through A, and extends forever the opposite direction. And finally, opposite rays. They have a common endpoint. And form a line. Common endpoint and form a line. Opposite rays. So in order to have opposite rays, the first thing you have to have is a what? What do you got to have first? Opposite rays. If opposite rays have a common endpoint and they form a line, what's the first thing you have to have? You got to have a line, don't you? Because opposite rays form a line, so you have to have a line. So you've got a line. There's your line. They have a common endpoint. So let's call their common endpoint right here. We'll call it C. Well, in this case, there's going to be one ray that goes to the right, isn't there? So we'll put let's put point R right here. So we have ray CR. And where does the other point go, and what would be the name of that ray? On the left side of what?
C.
On the left side of C, so we'll call it point L. And what would its name be? Ray CL. Because you have to start the description with the endpoint. So here is ray CR, isn't it? It starts at C and it goes through R, so ray CR. And then here is ray CL. It starts at C and it goes through L, and it's called ray CL. Those are opposite rays. Form a line, common endpoint. Form a line, common endpoint. If I gave you the picture is ray B.
First period, I'm sorry, first period real quick.
The question is ray BC and ray BA. Are they opposite rays? Yes? What's the definition of opposite rays? Same endpoint and form a line.
That doesn't.
Does that form a line? Because what's a line? Straight path. Okay? So in this case, these are not opposite rays. They don't form a straight line. And if I extend this to here, let's assume that that's straight now, okay? As possible. Trying to maybe fool you a little bit. Call this D. Ray, don't write this down, just watch. Ray DC and ray BD, are they opposite rays?
No.
Why not?
Because
They
don't
form a
have
line.
endpoint.
They go up. They don't what?
They don't have a common.
They don't have a common endpoint, do they? What's the endpoint of ray DC? It's the D, isn't it? The first letter. And what is the endpoint of ray BD? B. Okay, so they don't have a common endpoint. In this case, they would both have to start at B. This would go through C. Start at B, go through D. Those two would be opposite rays. See the difference? Okay, very good. Any questions? Okay, your assignment for today is going to be page 9. Three through 19. Okay, when you're done with page 9, 3 through 19, then I want you to answer the focus question. And after you've finished page 9, 3 through 19, you've answered the focus question, then you need to check headline for homework.